Blame Truth here, and before the video gets underway, I just want to kind of pay my respects in this video to two big influences in my life that have either retired or passed on, respectively. And I'm talking about Sting and Akira Toriyama. Sting, I saw his last match at AEW Revolution last week, and yesterday I think we all found out collectively that Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, helped with the art Chrono Trigger, etc., had passed away. Just two big influences, not only in my life, but for the channel. A lot of people don't know this, but like without pro wrestling, I don't think Blame Truth, the channel, would exist anymore. I really, really do not. And just want to give my respects to my heroes that have either retired or passed on. And the hardest part about this, and I said this on my Twitter, the hardest part about this is not the fact that they will retire or pass on. That happens to everyone, you know, eventually. You just kind of have to hang up the gloves, give up the ghost, whatever. But the hardest part is knowing that they're not going to be replaced. These two super passionate individuals will never be replaced. I truthfully don't think they will, at least in my lifetime. So that's the hardest pill to swallow for sure. And that's a big topic I want to cover in today's video is passion. You know, guys, it's been a while since I've made a video. When the new season of Call of Duty came out, that was going to be when I made my new video. And I took one look at that season and what it had to offer. And I knew that, quite frankly, it was just fucking pointless. I just do not care. And I said on my Twitter, I'm like, guys, I just, there's no point to even cover it. Like, is it even worth complaining about now? I'm sorry, but is it? The one thing I want to bring up from this particular season and cover in this video before I get into the main meat and potatoes topic is this. Only in Call of Duty would you see this. And I looked at this and I just had to laugh because this is the state of the game. Ricochet, the Ricochet team or whatever, banned like 20,000 cheaters, I think last week or something like that, after banning like 6,000 a few weeks before. The cheaters are insane. If anyone's still playing Call of Duty, they're probably cheating at this point, or they're a masochist. I'm sorry if I'm insulting my viewer base who may still play it, but guys, you got to do something else, man. Like, there's a lot better things to do right now. But take a look at this. They actually added this to the loading screens, and Nero was the first person to show this to me, so I just saved his screenshot of it. But it says, and it's like tiny text, it's not even like well done, it's like they stuck it in last minute. Players who cooperate with their teammates win more games. Well, you know, you have literally made it so that cooperating with your teammates to win more games will either get you A, chat banned, or B, put into harder lobbies, potentially with people cheating in some capacity. You're basically destined to lose the more you win at this game. And yet, they have to remind people to communicate, play with their teammates, cooperate, and all that stuff to win matches. What kind of fucking Twilight Zone shit show has this game actually become? This is the state of it. This is what the community is. No one cares about wins or losses because it doesn't matter. So what are we playing for? Like, what do I get if I win a match of Call of Duty? What do I get? I'm gonna tell you what I get. It's been this way for a long time. I get Jack and I get shit. And that's it. So why bother? Let's move on, though. Let's move on. The real meat and potatoes of this video is actually, it's going to transcend Call of Duty here. And when I talk about Akira Toriyama and Sting, two kind of different fields. I mean, if you're an anime fan, wrestling fan, maybe both, you know who these guys are. But it's two different fields, but these are two individuals that just had so much passion, so much drive, and were respected by their peers. And we're getting to a point, this is like a society problem, and I'm not trying to go Joaquin Phoenix Joker here, but like, this is a society problem. Like, who is going to replace these men, you know? Where are the people that are this, like, inspirational and driven and motivating to everyone else? I just truly don't think they will ever be replaced. And I think society as a whole will gradually get worse because we don't have any hero, like actual bona fide heroes anymore. People are either greedy, or they're lazy, or they're scumbags, or they get walked on. It's like, I don't know. It's a society problem, but we'll get to that maybe in a different video. If you think I'm just saying like things are going to get worse for the sake of it, I mean, I actually have proof for this one, and this is the main thing I want to cover in this video. So check this out. I was on Twitter looking at some news and gaming news and whatnot, and of course this pops up, and this is the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. This isn't just Call of Duty. This is an industry-wide problem, and if I don't bring attention to it, good God, guys, we have to speak up. I'm sorry, we have to speak up about this. Just look at this and then tell me when I'm telling lies. Shinobi says, WB sees its future game strategy to involve more live service, mobile, and free-to-play games. Rather than just launching a one-and-done console game, how do we develop a game around, for example, a Hogwarts Legacy or Harry Potter that is a live service where people can live and work and build and play in that world in an ongoing basis? Said WB Games CEO JB Perrette. And you can read the entire article, and I'll link that in the pinned comment. So guys, this is the takeaway for making the best-selling game of 2023. From what I understand about Hogwarts Legacy, I unfortunately did not play it, but from what I understand, it's a single-player game, and it's very good. And weird cancel culture controversy aside, everyone that played it really liked it. From what I heard, it was a great game. And this is the takeaway. I mean, it broke. It was the best-selling game. It broke the streak of Call of Duty or a Rockstar Games game leading the top position here last year. It sold so many copies. I mean, they're making money hand over fist just from making a good game and selling it, which is what gaming should fucking be. You know, that's it. But this is the takeaway, and let's check out some of the comments to this like realization from this WB Games CEO, just this tone-deaf idiot. He probably saw the fact that Call of Duty is making hand-over-fist profits from like manipulating their player base and pushing out complete garbage. Like, I don't know, man. Suicide Squad failed because they tried garbage like this. Like, what they're saying is that they want to risk failing to make money more than they just want to make good money. I mean, look at these Twitter replies to this. It's hard to believe this is the takeaway from the Hogwarts Legacy success. My God. Everything is driven by the profit motive. Come on, man. They made hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in profit from Hogwarts Legacy. It was the best-selling game of 2023, and they say this. You know, if this came from like, I don't know, a small group of indie developers, maybe I would be more okay with that. Like maybe make a Power World. Indie devs made Power World, which is kind of what they're describing. You know, it's like an MMO essentially. But this is not it. This is clearly a profit-driven thing. They want that Call of Duty money. Call of Duty can lose 40% of its sales year to year and still make money hand over fist, sometimes more money, just by raising the price of the game $10 or raising the price of cosmetics by $5 average. These profit raises sneak up on people, and I don't know who is paying $30 to play dress up in a shitty first-person shooter that's not even going to carry over to next year's game, but get some psychiatric help, you complete and utter fucking moron. It needs to be said, and I'm glad I have a pop and spit filter on my microphone right now because I am getting straight up into this thing's grill. You know what, guys? This is going to be an industry-wide, I mean, it kind of already is, but it's just going to get worse. So, have you guys heard of Skull and Bones? That game's coming out, right? I saw some gameplay of it on Twitch, and it looks like trash. It looks awful. And this game's been talked up. This game's been talked up being a quadruple A game, whatever the hell that means. Look at this article. Skull and Bones looks like it's doing worse than Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. This is just from an article. I mean, Ubisoft, you're going to go bankrupt if you keep spending all this money on trash to try to siphon more money out of the public. You could hire a few indie devs and get them to, like, I don't know, mess around with Assassin's Creed Black Flag and come up with something better than what I personally saw with Skull and Bones. And I'm not trying to trash every single new game that comes out. I'm really really not. But guys, the quadruple A comment from Ubisoft CEO was probably the dumbest thing he could have ever said in reference to Skull and Bones. It shows that he has never played the game, completely lacks any sort of self-awareness, has no clue what is going on in the gaming industry, has never played a game developed by an indie studio with 1 to 5 developers that offer more content in an early access game in development than Ubi in a quadruple A game. I don't want to trash, let me go back to this. I don't want to trash every new game. Helldivers 2 is apparently fantastic. I've enjoyed Palworld, despite it being more of an indie title. It's definitely an indie title. I really like Lethal Company. You know, I actually got into Dead by Daylight quite a bit, and while Dead by Daylight definitely has its problems, I do appreciate just them sticking with that one client for like the past 7 years and just adding to it. Maybe Call of Duty is just the Call of Duty PTSD of switching games every year. Maybe like Dead by Daylight more. I don't know. But like it's truthfully not hard to just make a good game. I mean, it's really not. Hire the best people for the job. Don't hire 4,000 morons from like California. Like if you go to like a Starbucks, check off some DEI checklist and then hire those people to work on your game, it's going to suck. You're not hiring based on passion. You're not hiring based on talent. You're hiring on, I don't know, meeting this quota and then hiring to make a profit. It's never going to work. The only reason it works for Call of Duty is because the player base is either really stupid children, 60-year-old dads in front of their 60-inch TV, or old heads that can't let the game go and will just play it all year and complain about it. I've broken the cycle, guys. I have not touched Call of Duty, I think since December, since that meat grinder map came out or whatever. Really haven't touched it. I mean, I don't plan on playing it the rest of the year. Every single year I play Call of Duty less and less. I feel like I'm going to be like The Undertaker. It's going to come out, I'm going to cover it for a week, maybe even a day, and then I'm just done for the year. You know, that's going to be my WrestleMania payday, essentially. I will always cover Call of Duty in some capacity on this channel, but my God, how far we have fallen. How far we have fallen, not just in that game, but in gaming in general. I saw something on Twitter in closing here about Halo 3, and they just posted the main menu of Halo 3. And I just listened to that main menu music, and I could hear the passion, the soul in that game. That game was a financial success. It was huge. Halo 3, I really don't think there will ever be an FPS as good as Halo 3 ever again. Great single player, great multiplayer, great creative modes with Forge and Theater. You will never see that. The innovation of Theater and Forge in general. You'll never see that again. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Unless the games industry crashes and gets taken over by indie devs, we are never going to see that again. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm out. Rate, comment, and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts below. Peace out.
Here's some parting advice.